what has happened throughout the city, and it has happened in phases, is that they went after the city structure. They went after the safety net. I, for one, work for the Department of Human Services.
Come on now.
When I was forced into retirement, I worked for the health department for many years, about 18 years prior to that. What they did, and one of the things we did in 2010, was that we were able to save over 700 homes from Wayne County foreclosure.
Yes.
And that was based on money that we received from President Obama for the stimulus. And that money, about $3 million, was then used to save the homes, which in turn went back to the city. Then county got paid. It was a win-win for everybody. But the bankers, because they said they messed with our game. They messed with our plan. Because we want to foreclosure, and then we want to get the benefits from, once the houses are, stripped. So therefore, we can't have nobody bailing people out. So we got to make sure we get rid of the infrastructure first. So what they did is laid off. They come up with some scandal. Department of Human Services bought $200,000 for furniture in a building that was probably 200 years old, hadn't had no furniture in about 50 years, which really needed it, and they made that into a big scandal. And therefore, due to corruption, we got to close it down. And we're going to outsource your jobs for weatherization to Wyandotte, okay? Not even jobs for us. And Lord knows Detroit needs jobs.
That's right.
And then we're going to outsource your ability for emergency needs to help with lights, to help with taxes, to help people burn out. We're going to outsource that too to a private entity. And again, they don't have any accountability to you as the citizens.
That's right.
And now we put these people out to work and force those that were lucky enough to retire. And when we really know the game was up, it was up when they said, well, now we can do the health department. So they just went over to the health department, and then they didn't even try to come up with a scandal with that. They had the director who was handpicked, and she decided she would go along with it, because now she's making a handsome salary over $200,000. And because it was so illegal, because much of the money coming into the health department is 100% grant.
That's right.
And when I say 100% grant, that means the city don't pay a dime.
That's right.
So why are you worried about these departments? They are contributing to the city. They're contributing to their own health care. They're contributing to their own pension plan. But you got rid of it. So now you got the health department that was scattered all over the city. That parts of it were closed down. They had the audacity and the disrespect to put our vital records, birth and death records, out at the airport. Then, because it was federal dollars and many of the feds said, wait a minute, this money can't go to this unknown agency called Institute of Population Health. IPOP, they don't even have 501c3.
That's right.
They just came into being in October of 2013. So therefore, they had to then say, oh, we got to keep a health director. So so they allowed Loretta Davis to be over IPH making $250,000.
That's right.
Then they also hired Vern Anthony Davidson.
That's right.
That's a black Republican, you know that. And so she's getting paid too. So now we got two directors probably making about $500,000.
Yeah.
And they done brought in all them people all from everywhere. So now we have workforce development. They privatized workforce development.
Yes, they did.
Milwaukee.
I can't get a job.
Okay. Well, they allowed the director at that time.
Shame.
Shut it down, become a private entity. I think it's employment staffing solution.
Strategic.
And again, there's no accountability. Those are federal dollars based on the population of this city to get us jobs and training, and it's gone. So this is an effort to totally dismantle the city of Detroit. They needed to get rid of the poor and move them out, try to get them in Section 8s and TEL or wherever else. And then they said, well, we'll go after the retirees. They're coming for all of us. They're knocking on our door and have been knocking on our door right now. They're going to be knocking on your door wherever you at. It's not going to stop here because Detroit is the test. And I'll close with this. I got a strange call from somebody. They said they was from Colorado. And they just happened to be listening and looking. And they wanted to say that they're real concerned that this does not need to happen, and that the people of Detroit need to vote no. And he said he worked obviously on actuarials, because when he got to talking, I had enough information to know that he was knowledgeable. But he was also concerned that if it happens in Detroit, and he called Detroit to test, it was going to happen there, and it was going to happen everywhere. So there are friends everywhere, y'all, and we need to pull on our friendship and make sure that we get those people out.
That's right.
Thanks again.
I'm David Saul. I retired a year ago, January, from Water Department, 21 years.
Woo!
Does anybody here who retired need me to tell you how broke you're going to be?
No!
I get away with this. You're broke already if you're paying medical care.
Thank God
You were
no
broke already before you were paying medical care. Pensions weren't that big.
That's right.
So I'm not here to tell you about that. This is a war.
That's
It's a
right.
declaration by a terrorist, Kevin Orr,
That's right.
who wants to destroy the lives of 20,000 plus retirees and thousands more current workers. And we need to fight back.
Yes.
We'll give credit to Attorney Goldberg, the AFSCME attorneys, GRCA and other attorneys that are fighting in the court. They're doing a decent job. But does anybody think that civil rights was won because some lawyers went into court? It didn't happen that way.
That's right.
People were in the streets, then it was
That's
won
right.
in the courts.
That's right.
We fought the Vietnam War in the streets. It wasn't won in any court or in the Senate. The unions were won by sweat and blood in the streets
That's
before
right.
any laws were passed legalizing
That's
it. So let me say this. How are we going to do this? And I take note that there are 20,000 retirees, but this is our biggest meeting of a rank and file
That's right.
organized meeting.
That's right, guys. Yeah.
Because, I'm going to be frank, no disrespect to anybody, but there are retiree associations that don't want to call protests.
That's right. That's right.
And I agree with Brother McNeil, Ed McNeil, who's doing a great job in court and in the retirees committee, that we got to be in the streets. But we need the resources of AFSCME, we need the resources of ATU, we need the resources of DRCEA and the other organizations and unions.
That's right.
And people will turn out. You're a witness to that, because you heard it by word of mouth, by leaflets, and by hard work of rank and file people. So that's how it's going to happen. Now, who's going to organize this? Because we're going to present to you in a few minutes a series of activities to let them know. Last big demonstration was 1,000 people in front of federal court. That's right. And a union official told me that Jones Day came up to him and said, "Is this going to be another 1967?
Hell
Let's
yeah.
be afraid of that. Let them fear us. There are 20,000 of us. But who's going to build that? We're going to be out there when court convenes on objections on April 1st. And we'll have the details. You'll all get that because you all signed in. But how are we going to get not 1,000 people, but 10,000, 20,000? You're going to do it, every single one of you. That means commitment, effort, energy. You got computers, you got phones, you got kids. Call them up and tell them, if I don't win this, if we don't stop this theft of our pensions, we're going to be moving in with you. That's how it used to be. That's how it was for our parents in the 30s, our grandparents in the 30s. Tell your grandkids there won't be any more Christmas presents because Granny and Grandpa are too broke to buy anything. If you think anybody else is going to do this besides each of you, then you probably think Santa Claus is coming to town. But he ain't coming. The Easter Bunny is not coming with golden eggs. This is going to be a fight. And if you don't believe that, you're going to wake up April 1st and you'll be Kevin Orr's April Fool. So we got enough here. How many people do you think sat around the table with Dr. Martin Luther King and the Women's Committee when they planned the Montgomery bus boycott. Probably as many people in this front row here.
That's right.
That's the truth.
That's right.
So we got plenty more than that. How many people belong to a block club?
That's
A
right.
church? Keep your hands up. Go to school or take classes. That's every one of you's got a network of people.
That's right.
And every one of them has to come out.
Come out.
It's not just retirees, young people. Do you see anything in that PowerPoint that say Kevin Orr's going to make jobs for you?
No!
Is he advocating in favor of raising the minimum wage?
No!
This is going to be a heck of a fight, people. But the only thing I can tell you is, Cecily, me, I'll be over sheriff. We can't do this alone. We've been working on this since last year. We were the first ones out there demonstrating. We still screened those signs in our office in the back room and made more. And we did these shirts by ourselves. We don't make any money. It goes to pay for the leaflets. That's right. So we're going to need funds. We're going to need volunteers, and we need you mainly to get out in the streets. The weather's getting better, I hear. April 1st. And if not then we'll be out again May 1st. And in June, they're going to have the final hearing on this. And we've got to fight, because not a dollar, not a dime. Stealing pensions